Start. So, Dr. Chandramouli, question. The question was, I have gone through your classes. I'm listening to your classes. Guru is constantly pointing out at the reality with a finger. So it is my job to look at where the finger is being pointed. That's first part of the question. Second part of the question is, I want to be in that stillness all the time. Second part, right? These are two parts to the question.
Yeah.
First part of the question, let me answer. Guru is pointing out at the reality. There are two approaches in Vedanta. Okay. One is the approach of traditional Vedanta, where Tattvamasi, that the word is being pointed out in various ways. And the traditional approach is neti, 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 not this, not this, not this. Then finally you have to see what is reality. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
So now here we are taking an approach of in Atma program. A slightly different approach is taken.
Mm-hmm.
We are inquiring into the nature of reality. What is reality? Okay. So now what is holding me from seeing the reality is my belief systems and perceptions. So the belief systems, once you question the belief systems, deep-rooted belief systems, the belief systems get loosened. The belief systems start dropping. So then reality is already there. Reality you don't have to catch. Reality you don't have to see, because you can't see the reality. You are the reality. So this approach is a process of inquiry. Inquiry into what? Inquiry into belief systems, what you have. The belief systems are layered. There are many layers of belief systems. The deepest level of belief system is what we call as existential belief, or belief about the self and the world. So various ways of, I'm questioning your belief system. I'm trying to shake your belief system to expose the falsehood of your thinking. It's like a policeman catching a thief.
Mm-hmm.
So when policeman starts asking the question, at some point thief doesn't have any answer.
Yes.
Right? So
yes.
I'm asking the questions for the thief, who is the ego. In various ways, at some point it can't give any false answers. Get stuck there. It gets stopped there. Okay. So that's the approach. This is the first part to your question. Now, can you reframe your question based on that?
I guess once we understand the gnana, which tells you you're not body, mind, and intellect, you are the Atman, you're on the light. So I guess I think you were told about manana and nididhyasa to stay in it. So I guess sometimes it comes and goes, whatever that feeling is, and to hang on to it and stay in that longer, because I think the false beliefs come back in your real life, like whatever you're doing in your real life. So I mean, some practical pointers are things to stay more in the witness mode.
Okay, so there are two parts to this question. The first part you said, once I understand, correct?
Yeah.
So now who is this I? Who can understand?
I think the same my mind and my intellect, which I think is also not true.
Who is that who I am, who understands? So the word understand, right? UNDERSTAND, correct?
Mm-hmm.
What is the meaning of the word understand according to you?
To have the clarity and and belief or
No. Let's go by etymology. Under and stand.
Understand.
Under and stand.
Standing below.
Stand below. Who stands below intellect?
Behind intellect is Atma.
Who understands? One who stands under the intellect. One who stands under the intellect is the one who understands, not the intellect.
I see.
So if you understand, they understand, then you understand. See, when I say, right now I'm seeing you, okay?
Yes.
Seeing the video screen, correct?
Yeah.
I'm wearing the glasses. So if I make a claim that my glasses are seeing, is it a true statement?
No.
Huh?
No.
I am seeing through glasses. Is
Yes.
the eye who sees through glasses?
Yes.
Correct, no?
Yeah.
So then who understands?
The witness.
Sorry?
Witness or sakshi, or which is finally Atman.
The Atma, the self, understands through the intellect. Intellect is the instrument.
Correct.
All right?
Yeah.
So it's not the intellect understands. It's not the ego which understands.
Yes.
Correct, no?
Yeah.
So now, who understands? Who stands under understands?
I see.
Now you tell me. Now you tell me the statement. Okay, I understand. Now you replace the statement and tell me what you understand. Who understands?
Because when they say that when the mind goes out, its ego or a mind, when it looks inward, you're looking at itself, which is powered by the Atma or self.
So let me ask the question again. Who understands? Does the mind understand?
No.
Does the intellect understand?
No.
Does the body understand? Who understands?
I think the knower, the Atman.
Huh?
The knower or the Atman.
The self Atma uses the instrument of body, mind, and intellect. So the knowing principle, Atma only understands, nobody else. These are the instruments.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
So the intellect is instrument. Intellect can acquire knowledge, but understanding is the self.
So the knowing principle.
Knowing principle. Okay. So the knowing principle, through various teaching processes, prakriyas, the knowing principle is being pointed out. So your understanding of understanding, you are thinking that I am the ego, I have understood, and I have to go back to the self, which is false.
Hmm.
The one who understands nowhere to go back.
But we need that instrument intellect, like till it dissolves, to look at that or understand. I don't know. I mean, like only human beings have this capability. So I guess we need that intellectual part, which is again powered by Atman, to understand, and finally it dissolves in itself.
So let us understand that. Okay. The understanding is not done by the ego.
Correct.
Not done by the intellect. Final understanding, any understanding of life happens by the knowing principle. Okay. So now, what are we trying to achieve in this whole process? The knowing principle, Atma, or the Sakshi, gets an instrument called the mind and the body and the intellect in the waking state. Right?
Mm-hmm.
In the deep sleep state, there's nothing is there. There's no other.
Yeah.
Bliss is. So in the waking state, the intellect, mind, and the body come up, get superimposed on the Atma.
Yes.
Okay, like I put my glasses when I wake up in the morning. And throughout the day, I forget that I'm wearing glasses. I see the world through glasses. The glass is the instrument. But I forget that I'm wearing the instrument and I identify the instrument. My eyes become one with the glasses. So to tell me that you are wearing glasses, you are not the glasses, you are the eyes. The teaching is required. So there's a forgetfulness of the nature of the self when we wear the glasses. So how this forgetfulness happens? When you wake up in the morning, the body, mind, and intellect get superimposed on the Atma. Atma is all pervading.
Mm-hmm.
And body, mind, intellect gets activated through Chidabhasa, reflected consciousness. Right? Body, mind, and intellect is inert. It becomes alive. Okay? So the alive principle is called Chidabhasa. Reflected consciousness. Now, the Chidabhasa plus Atma, what called Jivatma, together it becomes one entity.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Atma has no ignorance or Atma has no knowledge. Atma has no requirement of anything. This Jivatma, which is a pseudo entity, is a single entity. Jivatma, Jiva plus Atma. So this entity gets confused with the body, mind, intellect. The teaching is given to this entity called Jivatma. It is not given to Jiva because Jiva has no independent existence. Jivatma has existence.
The Atma component comes from Chidabhasa.
Which component?
Atma component of Jivatma.
No. Atma or the self is all pervading. It's Brahman only.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
It cannot go and come anywhere. It has no question of ignorance and knowledge. It is like sun. Chidabhasa is like a reflection of sun in the water. Did you get the analogy?
Yeah.
So now the situation is this Chidabhasa and Atma both are conscious entities. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Whereas body, mind, intellect is inert, Jada. The conscious entity only can get confused. Jada cannot get confused. So the conscious entity, Chidabhasa, is there in the intellect, mind, and the body. And the world also. The world also is reflected in that. So the problem here is the Chidabhasa and Atma together is called Jivatma. Okay? You can think Chidabhasa more like a wave and Atma like a water or ocean. So this wave cannot get confused because wave cannot exist without water. We have to deal with the whole entity, one entity called Jivatma. Okay? So now this Jivatma is told, given the teaching, Nanu, Nanembudu, Nanalla, Ideha, Manabuddhi, Nanalla, Sachidanandatma, Shivanamnane, Shivoham, Shivoham, Shivoham. The teaching is given to the Jivatma, not to the intellect, not to the body, not to the ego also.
I see.
Understand? If you misunderstand who is speaking, then you will start trying to, the understanding goes in some wrong direction.
I see. So the teaching is not even to the intellect.
It's not to the intellect. Intellect is the instrument.
Instrument.
Okay. So the teaching is given to conscious entity. The conscious entity which uses the intellect.
That entity is the one which lights the intellect, powers the intellect.
Which powers the intellect.
Okay.
Right? So we can't teach Atma because Atma is all pervading.
Correct.
Because Atma, there is no question of teaching at all. It's all pervading, it's non-dual. It is reflected in the body-mind complex, intellect complex, as Chidabhasa. The Chidabhasa we call as Jiva, but we cannot deal with Jiva separately because Jiva has no existence other than the Atma. That's why we are calling it Jivatma. Okay?
Is it same as causal body or a Karana Sharira?
No, don't bring that. Don't bring those concepts right now. Just focus on this much.
Okay.
Okay? So Jivatma teaching is given.
Okay.
Okay? Jivatma is wearing the body, mind, intellect and thinks that I am the body, mind, intellect because Jivatma doesn't know I am the Atma.
Got it.
The forgetfulness is for whom? Not for Atma.
Jivatma.
Forgetful, Atma cannot forget. It's because the Atma, there is all pervading. It's non-dual. Jiva has no existence of its own. Wave has no existence without other than water.
Okay.
So we have to deal wave as a part of the water, one entity.
Oh, got it.
Right? The moment you separate out, there is a confusion. The moment you separate out, you will say ego has a problem. Ego will try to find some answer. That doesn't work that way.
So the Jivatma is, I mean, the wave and ocean analogy here. The wave corresponds to the Jiva.
And ocean corresponds to Atma or Saguna Brahma.
Okay.
So now this entity, total entity is learning something, not the Atma. Atma, you don't have to teach anything because it's already free.
Okay.
Okay. It is not the intellect which has to be taught. Intellect is just an instrument. Just like my mobile phone will learn something or my glasses will learn something. It can't do anything. Ultimately, I am the one who is learning.
No, so what is the role of intellect in this process?
See, what is the role of intellect in the process? Like morning, I wake up and put a glasses.
Okay.
Glasses are red. Okay. I see the whole world as red. Right? So now I don't know, world is not red. I know black glasses have become part of me. Then the eye doctor will come and tell me. I go to the eye doctor, I say whole world is red. Then eye doctor has to teach me. How do I see the eye doctor? Through the red glasses only.
Yeah.
The instrument is having problem and the same instrument has to be used to meet the eye doctor also. So intellect is the instrument which is giving a wrong information.
Okay.
Jivatma is taking the wrong information and believing that it's the right information.
Okay, got it.
Got it?
Yeah.
So my eyeglass are red. I go to the eye doctor. Oh, the whole world is red. It's full of blood. I'll say. The eye doctor understands my problem. I'm confusing myself with the red glasses. But eye doctor also appears to be red to me because I am also seeing through eyeglass only to the doctor.
Yeah.
Right? I don't have any other means of seeing the doctor, right? Because I'm wearing the glasses. So then doctor has two ways. He can say, okay, or he can take a cloth and clear my red glasses. Now what are you seeing? He'll ask. So the intellect has to be corrected.
Correct.
Okay,
so,
but understanding happens to not the intellect. Understanding is not for the intellect. Understanding is happening to Jivatma.
Jivatma, but it is going through the intellect. Can I say that?
Yes. It is using intellect as a means of knowledge.
Knowledge, got it.
Okay, so correction has to happen in the intellect, but understanding happens with the Jivatma.
Jivatma. Got it. Now it is clarified.
Right?
Yeah.
So, why this is important? Because if you say intellect is the understanding, the intellect always depends on the memory.
To make interpretations.
But intellect is a computer.
Computer.
So without data, it cannot work. Are you understanding what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So intellect will take past data and try to analyze it and come to some conclusion. So now, if intellect is understanding, then you have to always go back on past data. So then you say how many scriptures I have studied, how many hours of satsang I have done. So it goes on time and recording. Then you say I have to remember again, because the moment you say I have to remember again, you are referring to intellect, not to the Atma. Are you clear what I'm saying? So the moment you say, Prabhuji, I have to remember again and again because I fall back, then who is speaking now?
Is the intellect, I think.
Jivatma as intellect is speaking. Jivatma is not speaking as itself.
Okay. Yeah, it forgot its identity.
Huh?
It forgot its identity at that time.
No. Jivatma has not forgotten its identity. Jivatma is again identifying the intellect.
Intellect. Okay.
Okay. So Jivatma is identifying the intellect and saying, I have to remember again. Intellect requires a memory to recollect. Are you clear?
Yes.
So now let me ask you a question. Intellect always depends on past to become something in the future. Right?
Yes.
Intellect depends on the memory to become something in the future. Okay?
Yes.
So now let me ask you a question, doctor. Are you your memory?
No.
Then what are you trying to remember? Tell me.
Yeah, doesn't make sense. Yeah.
So one fine day, I have an instrument, modern gadget, right? You have so many sophisticated medical gadgets. I will erase your memory. Are you there still?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes, I'm there.
Then why do you have to remember that I am the Atma for your existence?
I think this is the vasanas and the impressions from my birth and possibly from previous birth keep on kind of imposing themselves on that belief.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You are going to vasanas. First, let me answer my question. So is there any meaning in saying I have to remember myself?
No.
Huh?
There's no.
Because you are not a product of your memory at all.
Correct.
Whether memory is there or not there, you are there.
Yeah. Correct.
Whether memory is there or not there, you are there. Are you clear?
Correct.
So now there is a supplementary question here. How can Chidabhasa be a conscious entity? Right? Because it's a reflection. So reflection can be like a conscious entity. So this concept is coming, reflection is not a conscious entity, is coming from the duality perspective. Advaita. In my mirror, my reflection is there, but my reflection is not me. Reflection is an image. Understand?
Yeah.
Chidabhasa is not a reflection, inner reflection. Chidabhasa is a conscious reflection because there's no duality.
Explain that. So it is different from image in the mirror, but it is a conscious reflection.
See, let me ask you a question, okay? Just let me just for a moment, okay? You imagine you are a musician singing a music, a bhajan, okay? Just for a moment, you think, imagine you are a musician singing a bhajan in this bhajan. Have you done that? So now, the one who is singing the bhajan, is it a conscious entity?
It's an imagination.
Imagination, but you are singing.
Yeah, correct.
So you are the conscious entity who has made that imagination alive.
Alive.
So you are the reflected consciousness in the imagination, and the reflected consciousness is same as you, Chidabhasa.
Yes. I see.
So this reflection is different from the conscious entity, is just coming from the duality perspective, because reflection in my mirror is not my face, me. But when you have created imagination and when you are making it alive, that Chidabhas is nothing but me only, reflection only, origin only.
Got it. It is powered by that. Okay.
Understand? So do not make reflection as an inert entity.
Okay.
One more question I'll ask. So let's say you see face in your mirror. Now mirror is inert. Your face you are seeing in the mirror. Does the mirror belong to the face? The face reflection belongs to the mirror or to your face?
To my face.
Reflection belongs to your face. So similarly, Chidabhasa belongs to Atma.
I see.
And unlike a duality of mirror and Atma, it's non-dual. The Chidabhasa is nothing but the consciousness
Reflected there.
reflecting. So it's a conscious entity. Is that answer clear?
Okay, got it.
The one who asked the question on Zoom, is the answer clear? Okay. So now, where we are standing earlier, I was trying to explain to you what was the last thread?
Why does Atma forget its?
So now it is identification in the mirror, identification of the glasses, which causes the confusion. But teaching is not given to
the intellect.
Either you clean the glass, okay, or you make a habit of removing the glass sometimes so that you see with your own eyes. Right? Seeing with your own eyes yourself is called nididhyasa. Cleaning the glass is called chitta shuddhi. Okay? Nididhyasa means you're not trying to achieve anything at all, sir. Nididhyasa means you remember your self-nature, understand everything coming in body, mind, and intellect is just an image or inert, jada. So Nididhyasa means de-addiction program. Are you clear?
Okay.
You are addicted to glasses called body, mind, intellect. So I am not going to use the body, mind, intellect because I am.
Okay.
You're not trying to become something in Nididhyasa.
Removing the glasses or cleaning the glasses?
No, you don't have to clean the glasses also. Nididhyasa means not using the glasses to see the world. It's a de-addiction program.
Okay.
So for some time, you stay, I'm not seeing the world. I'm myself, that's all. I don't have to become anything also. I cannot become anything. How can you become anything?
Yeah. Yes.
Jivatma, not Jiva. Not Jiva is ego. Jiva is not doing it. Is Jivo, right? Jiva is nothing but Brahman only. Now this sentence doesn't make sense if Jiva we consider as ego. Okay? Ego has no independent existence at all. Are you getting what I'm saying? A wave has no independent existence comes to water. Wave may not know I'm the water. But wave in water is together one package.
Yeah.
Are you clear? So why we have to be very careful in understanding Jiva? Because if you take Jiva as an ego, Jiva comes and goes, comes and goes, comes and goes.
Yeah.
Right? Ego is appearing and disappearing. Ego is changing. So, for example, half an hour back, what the doctor is, now you are not, because your body has changed, mind has changed, intellect has changed. How many cells have changed, sir, per minute in your body?
I guess few thousands or more.
No. You're very off the mark.
Millions, billions.
It's millions of cells have changed. So, Jiva is the entity who is identifying the body, who has changed. What is the point of teaching Jiva? We are teaching to Jivatma, who is a single entity, who is a conscious entity. Are you getting what I'm saying? So that Jivatma is Brahma, which is Atma. It's confusing itself as the body and mind. Are we clear this much?
Yes.
So now, that being the case, if you come and tell me, Prabhuji, I have to remember whatever you taught, then what are you saying? You are saying I'm the intellect, because intellect cannot survive without remembering. Okay? Atma Jnana is not at all about remembering. If you have to refer to the memory, then it's about becoming. That means about not being. It's not about Atma. It's about becoming. You cannot become Atma. So tell me what is that you want? You are trying to become Atma, or you are trying to become Brahman?
No.
Huh?
I think the misidentification interposes itself into, I guess that's one way to say what I'm trying to say.
Who is that we?
Yes, body, mind, intellect.
Can body, mind, intellect be we, the? Can your glasses be I?
No. It's being energized
Which
by
we are referring? Huh?
Yes.
So tell me now exactly what problem we are trying to address.
Its problem is the confusion with the instrument, not with the source.
So just understand. Just understand that whether you have memory or whether you don't have memory, you are not at all affected the real you. The confusion for you is identification of the memory when it's available. Identification of the intellect when it's available, right? So now the correction has to happen. Where the correction has to happen?
At Jivatma level.
At Jivatma has to understand using the intellect as a correction mechanism. Intellect is required because otherwise he can't understand.
Yeah.
Right? So the correction has to be introduced in the intellect.
Yeah.
I mean, intellect has to correct. The correction is required. What is the correction required in intellect? The intellect takes the I thought as I. I thought, whatever I thought you have is a product of memory. So Jivatma using intellect confuses itself with the I thought. I thought is a memory recording of all your past experience becomes I thought. Your vasana, samskara, all together becomes I thought. So the Jivatma using intellect is confusing itself with the I thought and say, I am that I thought. Is it clear? See, for all so you are a doctor now. Your I thought comes with the doctor. I am the doctor. I am the man. I am doing sadhana. All those things are I thought. It's a recording.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So now, Jivatma using intellect takes that I thought as real. I thought is me. Then there is a problem. So suppose you reject I thought is not I, then what is there to do? You do? Are you dependent on your I thought? If anesthesia is given, are you there or not?
I'm there, yeah.
I thought is not there. Are you there?
Yes.
So then why are you depending on I thought for your existence?
Yeah.
Huh?
False I.
So what exactly problem we are trying to solve?
I guess they say, you know, when this soul is born, or this Atma comes into existence, it comes with this ignorance or avidya, and I guess again it's explained as it's Sriman Narayana's dream. That's why.
No. You don't get to all those theories now. Now come to the point, because you are bringing some memory.
Yes.
So at this moment, what is the problem we are trying to address? What is required for you to realize who you are?
I guess minimize the misidentification that sometimes rears its head periodically.
So simply you have to understand, I thought is coming up again and again.
Yeah.
So you have to learn not to identify with the I thought.
Okay.
That's all. And who has to learn? Using the intellect, you should discriminate. This I thought, I am not that I thought. Intellect has to be used, no doubt about it. Are you clear?
Yeah.
So, but who is learning I am not I thought? Atma, Jivatma. What is it using? It's using intellect to discriminate. Correct?
Yes.
So can intellect be trained not to identify the I thought?
No.
It can be. That's called Viveka, discrimination. See, between me and you are a doctor with some 30 years or 40 years of experience. What is the difference between me and you? You are a trained doctor. You learned through a lot of medical books, then start applying it. Correct?
Yeah.
Ultimately, what is required for application? The intellect has to be able to guide the body and mind to do surgery.
Correct.
So whom are you training?
Intellect.
So same, they train the intellect to undo what is damage is being done. That's all. So when I thought arises, don't have to change I thought. Just ask, who am I? Am I the I thought? This much training you can give to intellect?
Yes.
Then where is the problem?
Yeah, it's not.
Huh?
No, it becomes easy.
Ramana Maharshi says simply ask, who am I? When I thought comes, okay, train the intellect to ask, who am I? There's no answer required because I is never depend on anything. So then where is the problem?
Yeah.
Huh? This much training you can do. You have done about 30 years of medical training and given intellect trained sharp way that you can do surgery and all.
Yes, definitely.
This simple thing, sir. Train your intellect, ask question, who am I? That's all. Intellect will keep quiet. When I thought comes.
Yes.
Is it complicated?
No.
Then what are you trying to achieve? Now who is silent?
Yeah.
Who is not answering?
Atma.
Jivatma. Jivatma has understood, it's keeping quiet. That's all. Other Jivatma say, use the intellect. No, I have to understand this, he'll say. Simply, whenever you are getting entangled in the I thought, just ask, who am I? Don't have to find the answer. Because I is always conscious entity, which is not at all affected by the instrument of course, body, mind, intellect. So what is the difference between intellect and knowing principle awareness? Is there a difference?
Intellect is an instrument and knowing principle is there. I mean, that's there everywhere and inside me, everybody.
So intellect is a computer. It will take some data, analyze. Your past data for all the doctor, medicine, everything it says as an I am doctor, you'll say. Okay. So it's up to you, Jivatma, to use that knowledge called I am doctor. You can act like a doctor consciously. I'm acting like a doctor. It's a role which I play.
Yeah.
Okay, nothing in that. But if you say I am doctor, when you say I am doctor, then what happens? You unconsciously identify the memory.
Yeah.
That's all. At that point of time, ask who am I? And be free from identifying the memory. Are we clear?
Yeah.
So there's a question here. The question is, intellect uses the knowing principle to know something, or knowing principle uses the intellect to know something. What's your answer? So I'll put it this way. My glasses are using my eyes to see the world, or my eyes are using glasses to see the world. Which is true?
Eyes using the glasses.
So when you say intellect is using knowing principle to see, know about the world, we are giving a inner entity called intellect the ability to know something. It is not.
Yeah. Knowing principle knows everything.
Huh?
Knowing principle knows everything.
Knowing principle. Okay, now let us understand the distinction between knowing principle and intellect. Okay. So knowing principle, intellect uses the data. So first the intellect, this is mobile phone. Intellect will say, because mobile phone is a name and shape, intellect will fetch my memory, a computer, and says this is mobile phone. Right? So this mobile phone is the name and form told by the intellect. The knowing principle says, I know. Knowing principle only says, I know. It just eliminates. Knowledge or ignorance, knowing principle doesn't care. So I don't know whether it's mobile phone. I don't know. It's a confusion. Knowing principle says, I know. I know, I don't know. So I know is knowing principle. I know is there in the presence of object, absence of object. When you are given anesthesia also, I know is there. The I know says, there's nothing to know. There's nothing. Blank. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The knowing principle is always I know. Whether ignorance I know, whether knowledge I know. I know physics, knowing principle I know. Then I know knowing principle, I know physics. Who says that? Jivatma says that I know the knowing principle as a individualized entity. The knowing principle just eliminates I know. So I know part is always there. Self-awareness part is there. All our interaction. Others will be just a robots, right? Are you did you get what I'm saying? So in any of our interactions, there's an object awareness and subject awareness. For example, this is a fruit. This is a fruit is object knowledge. Correct? So I am eating the fruit is a subject knowledge. Here I am is the body, mind, and intellect. There's a subject and object is there in any knowledge. Subject knowledge, object knowledge. When it's a subject, object knowledge is a thought. This is a fruit is a thought. I am eating the fruit is a thought. The I am here refers to body. Correct? So awareness is there in both of these cases. Self-awareness never goes. I know this is fruit. I know I am eating. The I know is common to both. That I know is there even when I'm sleeping. Body, mind, intellect is in sleep also. So it says nothing. It illuminates nothing is there. I know is like a screen. Everything is like a movie coming and going. So who are you now?
Yeah, if you've never seen the fruit, then the intellect it should say, I know, I don't know that it's a fruit.
I don't know it's a fruit is called intellect. Because intellect depends on the memory.
Right.
Correct, no?
Yeah.
But I know you have ignorance of fruit. I know you have knowledge of fruit. That I know is common to both.
Both. Got it.
Are we clear? So that I know is you. Now what you know is not you. What you know is not you.
That's your memory bank.
There's a memory bank. Right? So now what exactly is the problem we are trying to solve? So in Vedanta, there's something called Nataka Deepika. I don't know whether you heard of it, right?
Yeah.
So a lamp is there on the stage, which illuminates whether the actors are there or not are there. Actors are not there also, lamp is glowing. Actors are there, lamp is showing the actors, correct? So now, when actors are on the stage, there's a reflection of light lamp on the actors. When the actors are not, there's no reflection, but lamp is there, always. So the reflection plus lamp is there when the actors are there. No reflection, but lamp is there when the actors are there. The lamp is called Atma, Atma Jyoti.
Similar to movie screen example.
Sorry?
Similar to movie screen example.
Similar to movie screen example. Is the distinction Nataka Deepika clear? So one who has question on Zoom, is it clear or not clear? So there's one more question. So Avarana and Vikshepa. So the question here in Vedanta we use Avarana and Vikshepa. Avarana and Vikshepa is related to memory. Am I correct? Avarana and Vikshepa, I forget who am I, and I think I am somebody else. I forget who am I called Avarana. I think I am somebody else is called Vikshepa. Okay. So now Avarana and Vikshepa is identification of the memory. It's not about memory. Wrong identification of the memory because I have not used the discrimination to find out who am I. Is the answer clear?
What do you mean by identification like that? One example in a way.
Sir, can I ask her?
Example, I'm not understanding it.
So you say, I don't understand. Correct? Who doesn't understand?
Correct. Who doesn't understand? Intellect is not able to catch that.
Intellect is not instrument here. Intellect is instrument. It cannot catch anything. The one who uses the intellect is Jivatma, right? Says, I don't understand.
Yeah, together. Yeah, correct.
Correct? No,
Okay.
Jivatma is saying, intellect cannot say anything. Intellect is just a decision maker. It's a computer.
Yeah, the decision came out from intellect that I did not understand.
Decision didn't come from the intellect. Decision came from Jivatma, together entity, the one who is using the computer. If your computer is giving some junk, who is responsible, computer or you? Huh?
Yeah, Jivatma.
Let's say your computer is creating some nuisance. People
Yeah.
come and shout at you, no, not because of not to the computer. The Jivatma is using intellect, but it is not understood. It is not using. It's not recognize who am I. It's using whatever data given by the computer as myself. There's no discrimination.
Mm. Yeah.
Right.
But when you talked about memory, it also means forgetfulness. Both are
No,
mean
yeah, memory
nothing
is
but
not
the other
forgetfulness.
thing,
Memory
right?
is a data bank.
Okay.
Okay.
Which I mean that I forgot something. Means I
Who
forgot my
forgot?
own self.
Who
The
forgot?
nature, myself, the nature,
Who forgot?
self,
Is the intellect forgot?
intellect has to take it. So intellect does not have anything. So what is that forgetful
Jivatma,
meaning of that?
Jivatma using intellect forgot its nature. It's not memory is not a
Yeah,
problem.
but why will an intellect come in between here, Guruji?
Because
Because the
Jivatma without
nature,
intellect,
I
nothing, you
am,
cannot do anything.
see, for example, I am woman, okay. If such is the case, then I am woman and I can never forget that. Okay.
Who is that I cannot never forget?
Jivatma together, I cannot forget that. Right.
Jivatma can discriminate who am I. Understand, I am the using human's body, but I am not the woman. In deep sleep also, are you woman?
But if something
Deep sleep, you don't have
suddenly
a body,
is
woman's
woken up,
body.
if I'm woken up, Guruji, at that moment I'll
You
definitely
woken up,
remember that I am that, right? I know that.
when
It's
you
not
woken up,
remembrance, right?
when you woken up, you are using the body and you are forgetting that you are the woman. You are the Atma. Now, who is forgetting?
Forgetfulness. Elinda ಬಂದದ್ದು.
Who is forgetfulness? The Jivatma is using intellect, right? Computer. The computer is saying, I am the woman from previous data. So the data is given by intellect.
Is using that. Intellect is using the memory card for that, right?
Intellect is using memory and says, I am woman.
Okay, but here the self does not have anything related. It's the nature itself is Satchitananda.
My dear,
does not have any
no, you're
separate
mixing up. You're
memory
mixing
as
up.
such.
You're mixing up. Please come back again.
Okay.
The self is Satchitananda, infinite. There's nothing to do with the self. It's the Jivatma which has to be clarified. Jivatma is the which has come into the intellect. As that's where you have to remember. The Jivatma has a problem, not self. Jivatma. Jivatma has addicted to the intellect, not Atma. The teaching is not for the Atma.
Yeah, but
I'll give you another example, Pratibha. Very addicted to video games.
Yeah.
Okay. When playing video games, he forgets himself. Now, where is the problem? The teaching has to be given to video games?
No.
The teaching has to be given to son. Stop playing the video games. It's harmful to you. Correct?
Yeah.
So teaching is not given to be Atma. Atma doesn't require teaching. It's Satchidananda Swarupa. Teaching is required for Jivatma, the Jiva which is animating the body-mind complex and addicted to body-mind complex. Okay? The Jivatma is forgetfulness. Your son is forgotten himself and playing the video game.
Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah.
See, because when we say Atma, no teaching is required. When you say body, there's no teaching required. When intellect, there's no teaching required. They are instruments. It is the Jivatma which requires a teaching. Jivatma is so engrossed in body mind intellect. Okay. So, doctor, next question. Is that this much clear to you?
Yeah. In that analogy of ocean and wave and Paramatma and Jivatma, why did they bring a concept of Chidabhasa instead of telling it is part of the Paramatma which is inside, but they call it a reflection?
So, there is a reason for that. Why Chidabhasa concept is brought. Okay. Paramatma is all pervasive and non-dual. Yes. There's no other in that. There's no world, there's no body, there's no mind. There's nothing other than Paramatma, right? So at the Paramatma level, there's no teaching, no question is required. Okay. So our problem is there's an appearance of the material world. Correct? Consisting of sun, moon, planets, everything is there.
Yeah.
And even our body is made up of chemicals.
Yeah.
So now the body is made up of chemicals, but looks alive. Right?
Yeah.
The aliveness doesn't belong to the body. Aliveness belongs to the consciousness. Okay. So now this aliveness which belongs to consciousness appeared in the body. But when person dies, that aliveness goes. The dead body will remain. Huh? So we have to account for inert matter becoming alive and inert matter losing its aliveness.
Got it.
So that's where Chidabhas is brought, because all pervading Brahman has nothing to do with the body.
I see. So
but body has appeared like a dream. So that has become alive. That aliveness you have to account for. That's why Chidabhas is brought. And the aliveness is not always there. Aliveness appears and disappears.
Yeah.
That's why Chidabhas is brought. Okay.
Right.
So now let me take next step. Is this much understood?
Yeah.
So now with this understanding, what is your take home? What did you understand from this so much? And where is the correction required? Please tell me. So from with this understanding, what is your take home?
Yes, take home is it is Jivatma which has the misunderstanding. We should use the intellect to teach or rectify or remind periodically. It's not you. Who am I? That's the once you realize you're after Gnana, this is what you need to keep doing whenever the I concept pops up.
Whenever the instrument misbehaves, you have to correct it. Who am I? You don't have to find Atma. Right? So how is this different from your earlier understanding? So when you started the question and now, what is the difference? What difference does it make in your life?
I think it was intuitively, it was happening. Now it is becoming more concrete.
So basically, you don't have anything to achieve.
Yes.
You don't have to do anything for being yourself. Your instinct called intellect is giving a wrong information. You don't have to correct the instrument also. You have to just ask, who am I? You have to ask the right question to your computer. Is that clear? So, Nididhyasa is when your intellect is giving, Nididhyasa need not be with the eyes closed. Ramana Maharshi says you can do self-enquiry anytime. Okay. Let me give you an example. So, morning you get up. Okay. So, now you wear your dress or your wife comes, then you become husband. Okay. Is there something wrong in that? If you don't become husband, then something wrong will happen. But if you become husband, is there something wrong in that?
No.
So you've taken a dress and we are playing the role. Nothing, no problem at all. Becoming husband in the morning and going to the office, becoming a doctor is nothing wrong in that. Okay. So playing a role is perfectly all right. Using the body, mind, intellect, playing a role of husband, playing a role of a doctor is perfectly all right. Nothing to do with it. No problem at all. But problem starts coming when the role starts getting into your head. I understand. When your wife shouts at you, then all that you'd ask is, who am I? Don't ask, who are you, your wife. Because the wife starts shouting at you, all your memories will come. I'm married for 30 years. She is shouting me. All those past records will come. Your computer will bring out all the past records. So mind gets agitated. Then ask who am I. Otherwise, don't ask who am I also. Otherwise, it will become some addiction. Is that simple? When you are lost in your roles and that role starts affecting you, ask who am I. Others don't get into who am I also. Why bother who am I?
I think this approach will automatically remove your doership.
Doership will take it. Doership will remove it. You don't have to take approach. We'll remove the doership completely. Surgery. Yeah. So is this clear to you? Don't have to make a habit of asking who am I 10,000 times a day. When you are getting lost in thoughts, just ask who am I, because computer has gone into loop. Who am I? I am the witness, Sakshi. Over. This is called Nididhyasa. Is it simple? Is there anything to achieve here? When some relative or friend has told something to you, shout at you, it causes mental agitation, noise. Then ask who am I? If something happens to your patient, you get agitated, ask who am I? You are playing the role of a doctor, that's all, over. So now will the mind will be full of thoughts now? He'll do functional thoughts. As a doctor, you have to do surgery. Where is the stethoscope? Where is the instrument? Functional thoughts. Non-functional thoughts will come down when you ask who am I? 70,000 thoughts are there, unconscious thoughts. Most of the thoughts are related to my identity, past and memory, future. So if you are lost in thoughts, just ask who am I? Come out of thoughts. Your number of unnecessary thoughts will come down, no? Only functional thoughts which are required to play your role will be there.
So this is needed. Yeah. If this is needed, yeah. So the manana refers to contemplation and reminding ourselves the true nature.
Don't do that. Okay, don't mix up these two systems. See, Shravana, Manana, and Nidhyasa is a traditional Vedanta. Traditional Vedanta is taught by Acharya for Shishyas. Acharya himself knows Vedanta well. He gives the input. So Shishyas have to go contemplate Manana and Nidhyasa they have to do. It's a separate activity.
Okay.
Whereas if you are fortunate to come across a Gnani Guru, who is good in Atma Vichara, then he will do a surgery and give some ointment and send you home. So that Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasa is a process. Okay. It is like somebody has a disease, diabetes, or somebody has a stomach ache. He'll go to general physician. He'll say, take this ointment, take this medicine every day. It's like a treatment. Whereas Atma Vichara is like a surgery. The whole thing is being cut off.
Okay. All steps combined into one.
So you don't, here there's no manana also. What manana is there?
Yeah.
But to tell you frankly, this Atma Vichara cannot be done by each and everybody. It requires a person, a Gnani, who is well versed in Atma Vichara. All Gnanis also won't do. Right? It requires a precision of a surgeon to cut off root of your belief system. So after cut off, what did you do? Tell me.
Correct. It is, there's nothing to do.
Nothing to do. So that, but what I'll do is do Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasa to reinforce the intellectual understanding. Okay. Right now here in this Atma Vichara, I have not brought any Vedanta or anything I have not brought. It's just a pure inquiry. Like a scientist. Okay. Now, I am telling you, this inquiry is more than sufficient for you. But you will get engaged in so many other activities. You'll get lost in the world. So keep a good activity of Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasa. But develop some good habits for the intellect. So are there any questions?
I mean, this appears to be, relatively simple. Why our Sanatana Dharma, all our scriptures appear to make it more complicated with all these.
So the direct path approach is very simple and direct. Okay. Why Sanatana Dharma has so many systems? There's a Karma Kanda, Karma Yoga, Upasana, Nana. So many systems are there. Okay. Why? The reason is simple. The living beings are a mixture of Tamoguna, Rajoguna, Sattoguna. Okay. Depending on the nature, the way they desire something, the way they seek something will be very different. So this questioning process, right, is suitable for a person who is already in Sattoguna. Already who has reached a level of maturity where the questioning will remove the illusion. But people in Tamoguna, people in Rajoguna, people in Sattoguna, they require different systems at various levels to come to this level.
Got it.
Are you understanding?
Yes.
That's why there's a saying in Sanatana Dharma, Loko Binna Ruchihi. If you put 10 people in a room, forget about anything. Let us say you invite 10 guests to your room, house, and ask what dish to make for food. 10 people will have 10 different opinions. No two people have same ruchi or taste. And somebody says, okay, I need what you call as pani puri. In pani puri, there will be 10 variations with slightly more masala, slightly less masala, okay, or this variety. Why?
Yes.
Understand? So the Sanatana Dharma is giving a menu card, is giving a buffet, because the understanding is the people, because of Sattoguna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, because of the karmic blueprint, they come at various levels. So choose what is required. Are you clear? So now I'll give you the approach. Okay. You have read you have done medicine, right? So for pathology, what is the textbook you use? Pathology means different type of diseases.
Yeah.
What is the textbook name?
Robbins textbook of pathology.
Robbins textbook of pathology. Robbins textbook of pathology has 10,000 diseases. Correct? And each disease, what is the treatment, what is the diagnosis, what is the symptom, it's there. Why 10,000 diseases are there in that? Because there's a range of diseases human beings can have. Correct?
Yeah.
So similarly, human beings as a whole have a range of ignorance, range of vasanas and samskaras. Okay? Is that analogy clear? Then there's another thing I'll tell you. Okay? Now here the challenge will come. I am a patient. Let's say somebody is a patient. So the patient has a stomachache. Okay? Then his grandmother will come and say, oh, you have stomachache. Take this home medicine. She gives the home medicine. So for 5 days, he'll try the home medicine. It doesn't work. Then what he has to do next? He will go to what you call as the pharmacist. For I have stomachache. Pharmacist, oh, stomachache. There are 20 medicines. Please take this medicine. Will it work? So then he goes to a friend. Okay, I have stomachache. The friend will say, I tried this medicine. Can you try this again? The disease doesn't go. Then he goes to a general practitioner. Yeah, for stomachache. So take this. Problem doesn't get solved. Then finally he goes to a surgeon. Surgeon says, oh, your stomachache, it's appendix problem. We'll cut it open and cut it out. So what is the solution? Surgery, right?
Yeah.
But before going to surgeon, he has tried out so many things. He has gone to grandmother, he has gone to friend, he has gone to pharmacist, and he has referred the book on that Robinson's book of pathology also. Does it solve the problem? But they're all there. They're all required. Pharmacy is required. Grandmother is required. Pathology, general medicine is required. Everything is required. But depending on what is your situation, right? So similarly, all of us suffer from a disease called Bhavaroga. Bhavaroga, you heard of this called Bhavaroga? What is Bhavaroga according to you?
Oh, being in this samsara and suffering.
It's a spiritual disease, like a physical disease, mental disease. Bhavaroga is a spiritual disease. The spirit or the Chaitanya, Jivatma, identifies the material nature. Bhava. Bhava means exist, manifest reality. And that gives rise to a series of roga, diseases. Physical, it can be physical disease, it can be mental disease, it can be relationships, it can be family disturbance, it can be financial problem, it can give rise to a lot of symptoms. And ultimately, there's no peace. Mind is disturbed. Right? This is called Bhavaroga. Did you understand what I'm saying? The root disease is spiritual. The spirit has identified the matter. It's called Avarana and Vikshepa. The root. Okay? The symptom of that is mental restlessness, mental stress, there are problems in the relationships, or fight with the people, anger, fear, kama, krodha, madhamas. They're all symptoms. Got it? So most of the people take a symptomatic treatment. They'll go to, I'm got angry, then we'll go to a psychotherapist, how to get rid of anger. Or that anger has resulted in a psychosomatic disease, they'll go to a doctor. Most of them we have got a symptomatic treatment. Or then they'll say, somebody will say, no, you pray to God. So they'll go to prayer also. Somebody say, chant this mantra. All symptomatic treatment, and everything gives a relief, but doesn't solve the problem. Are you clear? Why problem is because Bhavaroga. So the Bhavaroga has to be treated by a surgeon. He has to cut off that ignorance. There's no role for you. You have to subject yourself to surgeon. Are you understanding what I'm saying? When patient comes to you, so doctor, please do surgery. I want to see what's happening. Don't give me anesthesia. Let me give my own anesthesia. Then what happens? You can't do surgery. So when a patient comes, he has to subject himself. You give the anesthesia, you do surgery. Patient has no role to play. Are you understanding what I'm saying?
Yeah, this act of patient meeting the surgeon is a chance event, or is a grace, or a purva
We'll come to
janma?
that. We'll come to that. That part will come to that, right? Grace, chance, or karma will come to that. First, you understand the process. So the patient has tried many things. He has gone to anger, he has gone to psychotherapist. For a relationship, he has gone to counselor. So many things his symptomatic treatment has done. Finally, he comes to a surgeon, if at all he comes. Everywhere he has to do something. With a counselor, he has to do something. With a psychotherapist, he has to do something. That means they'll give a prescription, he has to do something. When it comes to surgeon, what he has to do?
Subject himself.
Nothing he has to do. That's called surrender. Are you understanding what I'm saying?
Yes.
Right now, you have come to me, you have nothing to do. I am doing the surgery. I'm not prescribing you do this or that also. I'm giving some ointment after that. That's all. The matter is over. A root cause treatment is to be done. That root cause treatment is called self-enquiry, and there are very few people who can do that. Understand what I'm saying? That skilled surgeons are very few. First of all, people don't go to the skilled surgeons. They will try all available counseling, therapy, doctors, yoga, meditation, chanting, mantra, puja. So Sanatana Dharma is like a Robinson's book of pathology. For all types of symptoms, there are medicines are there. So people try out their own medicines. They'll go to their friends. Finally, if at all they'll come to proper surgeon only at the end of life. When nothing works out. Does anybody come to you when diseases are mild?
No.
You are a surgeon. Very mild symptom, will people come to you?
No, they wait.
They will go to some other doctor. Finally, nothing works. Okay, there's a block there. I can't remove it. No medicine can remove it. Then please remove something. Understand?
Mhm.
So that's how in Vedanta it's also called, see, you are called, you are a heart surgeon, right?
Mhm.
And what do you do treatment? What treatment for what you treat? You treat
Oh.
for heart blocks.
Uh-huh.
Correct, no?
Yeah.
You're expert in treating the heart blocks, the blocks in the artery. So Vedanta also says, Hradaya Grantihi. The word is same. You are saying a heart means physical heart. Vedanta says Hradaya means spiritual, Atma. Atma has a block, Granti. So the Granti has to be broken.
Mm.
Many people do a lot of treatment for the ointment, this thing. Vedanta says, okay, fine, first you treat all these things, they're all available to you. If nothing works, you go to a final surgeon.
Mm.
That final surgeon is called self-inquiry. That's the direct method. But very few people reach that. Did I give the answer to your question?
Mhm.
Yes or no?
Yes.
So tell me what is your understanding? What is the take home?
Well, once the surgery is done, nothing to be done except, yeah, be in that state.
Just you have to apply some little bit of ointment. Ask who am I and go back. Or rather, don't go back. Ask who am I, and your computer is doing a lot of nonsense. Your intellect is doing a lot of nonsense. Just say who am I. That's all. Don't try to do anything also, because nothing to do. So your question was not that. Your question was, why Sanatana, if this being so simple, why Sanatana Dharma is so many varieties are there?
Mm.
That answer is given.
Yeah.
Why?
I guess people have different taste. I mean, different preferences, and if it was sattva, tamo, rajoguna, and then one suits one more than the other. Yeah, but this. What is the role of the student in deciding what is the right path and what is the
That
role
will
of
come. Next step will come. Okay. So you understood now. Sanatana Dharma gives so many prescriptions because each person has sattva-guna, rajoguna, tamoguna. But finally, please understand, finally, okay, he has to go to enlightened master and become free. Until that time, disease will not go. No matter how sattvic he is. Okay, that's what Sri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Tadviddi pranipatena pariprashnena parishevaya upadekshanti te dnanam dhanina tattvadarshina. So for dnana, only solution, tadviddi pranipatena. If you want to know yourself, means person has identified, okay, my ignorance is the problem. So you go to Gnani. Ask him to question, relieve your suffering. Then upadekshanti te dnanam, and then surrender. In surrender, you have no role to play. Please understand. When I come to a surgeon, I have no role to play. I'm just lie on the table. Do whatever you want. Right? So when you come to Gnani, there's no role for you to play. There's no memorization. There's no thinking. Subject yourself. So then ignorance is cut. Are we clear? So this is called Diksha. So there's a word called Diksha you have heard? What is Diksha for you, according to you? Have you taken Diksha?
Yes.
What is Diksha according to you?
Yes, Guru initiates you into a practice to realize yourself.
That's not called Diksha. That's called Shiksha. There's a difference between Shiksha and Diksha. Shiksha is initiation into a practice. So all practices are related to intellect or body or mind. Okay? Understand? They are called Shiksha Gurus. We are confused. We don't even know what is Shiksha and what is Diksha. Shiksha is the training of the intellect and body, mind, intellect for tamoguna to rajoguna to satoguna. Let us say I go to a Shiksha Guru. He'll say, okay, I'll give you this mantra, chant 108 times for next couple of years. Is it a practice?
Yeah.
For whom is the practice?
Body and mind and intellect.
So it's a training of the body when it's called Shiksha. Understand? Diksha is not that. D means intellect. Ksha means Kshitija. You heard of the word called Kshitija?
The Diganta.
Kshita is horizon. So removing your from Kshitija of intellect is called Diksha. Horizon of intellect is being removed. So intellect has a boundary. There is a horizon for the intellect. That beyond the horizon somebody takes you called Diksha Guru. Is the difference clear? Shiksha Guru operates within the horizon of intellect and mind and body. The practices are prescribed. Diksha Guru takes you away from the intellect. Diksha. Did you understand the difference?
Yeah.
Diksha Guru doesn't give you practice. Diksha Guru removes you from practices and takes you beyond the horizon of practice. Such a person is called Diksha Guru. So we are actually now the world has become so jumbled up. People give Shiksha and call it Diksha. Diksha, they don't know what is Diksha. Diksha means Diksha, going beyond the intellect. After you go beyond the intellect, what is the practice? Is the question clear to you? Do you understand the difference?
Yeah, Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru, yes.
Correct? So
yes.
Diksha Guru is a surgeon. Shiksha Guru is a general practitioner. In your own language.
I see. Correct.
Understand? Somebody has a heart problem. He goes to general practitioner. He'll give some medicine. Okay, he'll try to reduce the heart block. Okay, your diabetes will come down. Take this tablet every day. Then somebody comes to a surgeon. He'll just say, remove the cut of the block. That surgeon is called Shiksha Guru. Also Diksha Guru. And general practitioner is called Shiksha Guru. So what is the quality of Shiksha Guru? So Shiksha Guru will say, okay, do this chanting 108 times a day. This puja you do so many times. That's called Shiksha. It's not Diksha. Are we clear? Whereas, if you come to a surgeon, then there's no role to play because there's nothing to play because you are already being taken out of the intellect. That's called Diksha. So in what else, if you are taken out of the intellect, what practices will be prescribed? That's a surgery. That's why Sri Krishna says, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena parisevaya upadekshanti state dhanam dhanam pranipatena. You have to surrender completely. When you go to surgeon, doctor, what should I do tomorrow? No. Doctor says, I'll do it now. But after the patient you do surgery, then you will prescribe some lifestyle changes for the patient, right? Do you?
Say it again.
So you do the surgery to a patient.
You
put a stent. After that, you say, do these lifestyle changes.
Correct.
Correct now?
Correct.
It's not a medicine. It's for further prevention.
Yes.
So, like that, I'll tell you people, Shravana Manana Nidhyas to do, it's a lifestyle change. Not for Jnana. And do some service. It's a lifestyle change so that you'll not get into disease again.
More preventive and...
more preventive. So you understand the difference?
Yes.
So is there any question pending for this? Anybody from anybody on Zoom? Shravan? Can you enable unmute? Yeah.